opener of the 2018 season. Standing by are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20-20 eyesight.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is
down. Here's
reversed.
Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
19.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The numbers for Mixon last week, he was without a doubt one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. A handoff to Mixon. Bust through the tackle. A second nice move, a spin. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
So after 2 1st downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Be ready for one word. Be ready for one word.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter.
Slowly. 4 down.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them, don't they?
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. This is what the defense is going to look like for Tampa Bay. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Back to Mixon on first down. Spins past it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Ready for one word. Be ready for one word.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal.
Be ready. Tempo, baby. Let's go. Let's go to work. Come on. Be alert. Be alert.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And it's now a 7-0 game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Jameis now on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And Josh Hill has it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to the... Tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Let's go now. Ready? Blue wave.
From the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turn into a heck of a DB, though, partner. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Throw left side. It's reeled in by Hamilton. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So just shy of midfield. They tried it. Didn't work out. What did you think?
I thought that they should have punted the ball away. Should have gotten rid of it and played defense with better field position. Look, I'm as aggressive as anyone wanting to go for it on offense, but in this situation, it doesn't.
First half.
I don't know that there's any risk. I mean, what's the reward for your risk here? I would not have done that. My only explanation is this coach, he may want to be up here in the booth with us. We may have a 3-man booth starting next week if he keeps up with those decisions.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Ready. White 25.
Off the play fake. Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Shotgun.
They go play action now. Wilson dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Penny, a 1st down carry. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advance In the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Let's get it, baby. Let's go. Oh. Gun. 12.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now Joe Mixon, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, 0.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the 1st. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
The point after try for Gostkowski. Gostkowski the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Winston. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Winston now to throw on first down. And incomplete on the deep ball. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. A give to Jones. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to it. When things have changed a little bit, they have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On second down, here's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hamilton. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw. For it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
Mixon with it, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class, and there was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Check 50, check 50.
On third down, Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And a gain there of 11 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Still got 4 down, 4 down.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready. Need to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run here with Mixon. Dances by him. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A handoff to Penny. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. To Mixon on the check down. Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It's caught, lock it. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And they get 14 yards there and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Alert. Shotgun. Clear. Saturday.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. In for the score. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 3rd down, it's Glover. And for the moment, this will be a first down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
On third down, Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Caught left side, Williams. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. First down, Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And the pitch goes to Mixon. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. Wide open receiver, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, Winston. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A second down throw for Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Are we really in the second half here? And this is the first time we've seen Jameis Winston connect with Mike Evans?
Yeah, you know that they missed this point. They've really missed it.
Right now.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your dead. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin with a run by Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 73 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not hard. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
To throw, Winston. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Ready. Blue ready.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Ready. Back 25.
From the gun, Winston. Right side caught by Jackson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Again, it's Winston. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. The numbers tell the story. Not the best start, but it's not often how you start, it's how you finish. And since that start, he's been good.
Can you just imagine what was going on in the locker room with the defensive coordinator? Because things were working so well. His game plan was in effect. They were holding him down. He was off his game. But you just know that he was nervous at halftime because you don't hold a guy like that down for very long. And in this case, his fears were realized.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the toss, Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Play fake. Winston. He's got his man on the comebacker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
My 50. Ready. Blue lady.
On 2nd down, Winston again. And he comes back with 1 complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. One last shot now for Winston. That one complete to Hill. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our